Hi, boys and girls. Today we are going to be learning about frequency tables. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in. Miss Rojas gave her students different surveys. The results are shown in the frequency tables. So we have a frequency table right over here. It looks like it's measuring how old the students are, and then we have the age and the amount of students that are that age, okay? So the students were asked how old they are. How many more students are 8 years old than 9 years old? Okay, so we're going to have to be doing a little bit of subtraction here. The first thing we need to do is identify the numbers that we're going to be using. So I need to figure out how many kids are 14 years old. Okay, so I've gone over and I've labeled my frequency table. This is equivalent or equal to you showing your work on paper and pencil, okay? We are labeling the numbers that we are using. And there are 8 students that are 9 years old. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take those numbers and subtract them from each other. We're going to take 14 and we're going to subtract 8. This one's super easy. You should get an answer of 6. Okay? Let's look at the next one. What color do you like best? On the left-hand side of that frequency table, we have the color blue, yellow, pink, purple, and green. And on the right side, we have the amount of students who pick that color. So 13 kids love blue, 1 kid loves yellow, 3 kids love pink, 3 kids love purple, and 2 kids love green. How many students like blue more than purple and green? Okay, so already my brain is going and I'm putting on my math hat and I know that this is going to be a 2-step problem. Is it hard? Is it easy? I think it's going to be pretty easy. Let's take a look. Okay, same thing like I did in my other frequency table. I am identifying the numbers that I'm going to be using. This is a really important step for you guys to do. Okay, so 13 blue, 3 purple, and 2 green. Okay, so let's set it up. I'm going to take 13, and I know that I'm combining purple and green and subtracting from my blue. And 3 plus 2 is 5. So 13 minus 5. Go ahead and do a little bit of subtraction right now. I'm going to give you a couple seconds. You should have gotten 8, right? If you got 8, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back. And then we just go ahead and plug in our answer. All right, next question. How many students like either yellow, pink, or green? And you already know what I want you to do. I want you to go back to your frequency table and identify the numbers that you're going to be using. Okay? So I'm using yellow. I've gone over and circled it. I'm using pink. Okay, I've gone over and circled it. And I'm going to be using green. So now all I have to do is add these things up. 1 plus 3 plus 2, super easy, 6. All right, let's look at another frequency table. Oops, I forgot that. Let's look at another frequency table. A children's shoe shop took a survey of their customers' shoe size over 1 day. Here is a list of their responses. Okay, so right over here we have our frequency. We have all the data that's recorded, okay? We are going to have to fill in this chart, okay? And you're going to have to do this sometimes on your own, all right? So let's go ahead and look. We have to start with size 1. Let's start with size 1 and tally up how many times we see it. The first thing I'm going to do is go through and mark all the size 1 shoes, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. See how I've crossed them out? Now I can go back and I can just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to have 8 tally marks. Okay, and over here I have 5, 6, 7, and 8. One thing that you guys might not know and we need to tell you is that when you make tally marks, once you reach the 4th tally, you cross from the top left to the bottom right, and that counts as 5. That way, if you have like 30 tallies, it's really easy for you to count by skip counting by fives. Okay, so that's what we use when we use tallies. And then we'll go ahead and write our total. There are 8. So the next one is size 2. And what you would do if you were working on paper and pencil is as you cross these out, as you cross out these 2's, you'll mark a tally, mark a tally, mark a tally. That way at the end, you know exactly how many. So go ahead and count up how many 2's there are. And you should have gotten a total of 10. See how we have 2 groups of 5, and I automatically know that that's a total of 10, okay? Let's do another one. Let's look for our size 3's. All right, so I have to go back and mark them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You should come with 6 tallies. Let's move on to size 4. All right, we've only got a little bit of size 4. We've got 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here. So we are going to have 3 tallies. And then we would count them up, and we know that we have 3 total tallies, okay? Last one, 5. Looks like there's only 1 size 5, so we only need to mark it for 1. Now let's go ahead and start to use the data that we filled in to interpret what we just collected, okay? What was the most frequent shoe size? So what we're looking for is the shoe that occurred the most out of all the other shoe sizes. And that's pretty easy for us to do now that we have all of our totals. We can come over to our column and we're looking for the one that has the most. That's going to be size 2. So you should have gotten the answer size 2. Let's look at our second question. What was the least frequent shoe size? So we're looking for the least. That means the shoe size that occurred the less amount than the others. So let's come over to our totals and check it out. And this is really easy for us to identify because there's only one person that had that shoe size. So you should have gotten size 5. It says, how many more children had size 2 shoes than size 4 shoes? So we're doing a little bit of comparing here between 2 different sizes. So we need to look at our size 2, which is here. We have a total of 10. And we need to look at our size 4, which is right over here, a total of 3. Wow, this is super easy. 10 minus 3. I'm going to give you a second to calculate that in your head. This should be mental math. 10 minus 3 is 7. Number 4, how many fewer children had size 5 shoes than size 1 shoes? So we're doing a little bit of comparing again. So size 5 shoes, there's only 1. Size 1 shoes, there are 8. So we're going to be doing subtraction. 8 minus 1 is 7 fewer. Number 5, our last question. How many more people had size 1 and 2 than size 4? So just like our previous slide, we have a 2-step problem here. We're going to need to add up size 1 and 2 and then compare it to size 4. So let's look at size 1 and 2, and that's easy because they're both next to each other up here, size 1, size 2. 8 plus 10, easy mental math, that's a total of 18. Okay, and we're going to be taking away however many there are for size 4. So 18 minus 3. Go ahead and solve that. I'm going to give you a few seconds. You should have gotten a total of 15. All right, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back, and I will see you next time.